Before we begin our podcast, we'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land we're recording on. For Cass, it's the Borragagal people, and for Hailey, it's the Dharawal people.
Recording in progress. Thank you, whoever says recording in progress.
Theory.
Is it?
No, I don't know.
Because the voice is similar, but I don't know if it is. If anyone's out there is watching, and you know anything about Zoom, can you please tell us if the female voice that tells us that recording in progress is the same person who does Siri? Welcome to Drag Me Out. I'm Cass. You are?
Mentally unstable.
Week in, week out.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just going to talk our usual shit for however long Hailey deems this episode appropriate, or whoever's doing the editing. I don't know. As you can clearly see, the Olympics are behind us. They're finished. 2 weeks have gone now. They're still talking about ray gun. And this is now in preparation for the Paralympics, which I believe are starting this week.
Paralympics in Paris.
In Paris.
So I wanted to talk about this last week. This is why I had this background, because obviously it was top news. Everyone was talking about it. Ray gun.
Ray gun.
Like, at first when I saw it, I thought it was, you know how I was sending you those like spoof TikToks or Facebook reels about like adding sports to the Olympics, and it was like silly salmoning off the diving board. I thought it was that. I thought it was people being like, this is what we should have in the Olympics, and doing like a silly little skit. I didn't realize that this was an actual competitor until probably like a day later, and everyone's like, ray gun. And I'm like, what? And then I thought it was a joke. What? Why would you? It's really annoying. It's not funny. It's actually irritating. I'm not like a huge fan of the Olympics, but it kind of just makes fun of all the Olympics, all the Olympians, basically.
And the weird thing was that it was the last event. Or one of the last events. So what happened was I was watching the Olympics religiously.
Correct.
And I had a night there where I was just like, I'm tired. I want to go to sleep. I'm done. Just for the night, I'm done. And then I woke up to friends texting me going, what the hell? I'm like, what the fuck has happened? Like, seriously. And then a couple of people had sent me links, and I'm like, oh, I just can't be bothered. Like, whatever. And then I ducked into Facebook, and somebody had played a part of it and went, what the fuck was that? What? She's wearing green and gold. What? And then I clicked on one of the links that one of my friends sent me, and I went, no, that's a joke. And then I went into the news. I went onto news.com.au, and it was the top story. And I went, that wasn't a joke.
No, it was not.
Oh my God.
Or was it? I don't know.
I don't know. There's conspiracy theories which have been debunked, like her and her husband had like rigged it so that she could get in and all of that. And they found out later on that that's not the case. But then they showed a video of him in a competition about 2 years ago. She stole his moves.
No. Sorry, she stole Kath and Kim's moves.
Well, yeah, that was Well, he stole them. She stole them from him. So, like, I think she's worse because she looked at them and went, "They're not bad," whereas he just went, "I'm going to take those." But it was.
I don't know what's worse.
It was a letdown.
Like them trying to make the green and gold into like hip hoppy breakdancing colors cool, or hopping across the stage like a kangaroo. I don't know.
She looked like a one-day cricketer.
Like, it was so bad.
50,
and
50,
it was
50 breakdancing.
Who would have thought she would overshadow the high jumper who lost high jump with his penis?
Uh-huh. Oh, the pole vaulter. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
is
yeah.
it pole vaulting?
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He got himself exactly 30 seconds worth of fame, and she took the entire fucking thing after that.
But he's going to make a lot of money off that.
So
And
she.
I don't think so. I don't
They're the
honestly.
producers of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here have already approached her.
Oh no, that's going to be awful.
Hmm.
I
She's got
couldn't.
a talent manager now. Talent managers are people who manage talent. She has none. So she's got an untalented manager now.
It's
It's just
so awful. Like, and I couldn't. So I tried to find the whole clip of it, which I found, and I couldn't even watch it. I was like, this is just
it's
cringe.
it's like watching a sex scene in a movie with your parents in the room. It's just embarrassing. You just can't do it. She like the judges were like, we wanted the people to, like, when they were doing their breakdancing, to represent their country, represent their culture, all of this other stuff. And then one of them goes, and the reason why we gave it, we just didn't like it,
Yeah.
right? And it was like 26 million people agree with you.
Yeah.
We didn't like it either.
Nope.
It, it was almost like it made fun of it. It was like made fun of the whole thing, and then what made it even worse was the closing ceremony, like a day or two later. The Australian athletes are standing out. They all gather around because they're trying to give her support and all of that. She does a dance for them, and it was fucking 20 times better than the thing she did in competition.
Yeah. And they're not having breakdancing. I don't know if she had anything to do with it, but I'm
No,
sure it
no, no.
was.
No, that was already established before the Olympics even started, that it was going to be an exhibition sport. So back in the day, they used to do exhibition sports. You would win a gold medal, but it would never count to your medal tally.
Hmm.
And then they just went, you know what, like, we might as well count it to the medal tally as well, whether or not the sport, you know, stays or whatever. But they had already announced, even before the Olympics had started, that the breakdancing was in Paris and Paris only, unless Brisbane wanted to bring it back in, because Brisbane have got the Olympics in 2032.
Ooh, do you reckon Ray Gunn
Oh,
will train for another 8 years?
look, the way that she danced, I'll be 58. I'm already in training now. It was just, the whole time I just kept thinking to myself, the more I watched it, the more I'm going, that's it. That's the best we had.
Hmm.
Really? Really? Because you know what? I have seen people in shopping aisles do better jobs than that.
I think
Just
the
have
funniest stitch they had across all of TikTok was that they had to make an announcement. Sparky Pilastri was running his routines throughout the Olympics. Spirit fingers.
It was awful. And yes, it did put a little bit of a mark against the Australian, because the Australians did very well. New Zealand did
Mm.
fantastically well. Um, and yeah, it put a little bit of a blemish on what was actually a good Olympics for us. Um, did it make me not want to watch the Olympics again? No.
No, I don't think so. But
Um,
it just kind of made a joke of the Olympians who train for 4 years really hard.
but some of them train longer than that.
Well, that's what I
Like
mean. Like for,
their whole
you,
lives.
yeah.
But it still makes me think that maybe if Brisbane were to bring it back 2032, 58-year-old Cass will be uh
Barney
throwing a
Hall.
hat in the ring, so to speak. It
What are the,
definitely gave
she'd be like, oh,
uh
I'm gonna kidnap.
Bangara dance, Kath and Kim Bangara Dance Company vibes. It was just it was awful, but like the Olympics were still good.
Did you like
Um
the Kath and Kel Irish dancing as they're on the floor horizontal? Oh,
mhm.
Kel.
Well, see, here's the thing, because people were putting up like gifs of Ray Gunn and then Kath and Kim. Last weekend when I had moments to myself, I watched Kath and Kim.
I love Kath and Kim. I do at least twice a year. I will run through the season. I love Kath and Kim. It is my
Now,
go-to. And if people from um America who listen to this and you have never heard of Kath and Kim, it is iconic Australian bogan. You thought that Ray Gun was funny? Kath and Kim is the entire series of Ray Gun, basically.
and it's on Netflix for everyone, not just for Australians, because I've got a friend over in the States who watches it.
Yeah,
Watches it almost as much as we do. She fucking loves it.
it's great. It's one of the best shows,
One of the
Australian
most
TV.
well-written, well-acted, well everything shows out there.
But then not
Um,
a lot of people do get our humor.
no,
Or
but
humor.
humor,
It's very sarcastic. It's very dry. Take it for what it is. It's very silly, but if you take it as it's silly, you'll actually just find it quite funny. It is a
mhm,
typical Fountain Lakes, bougie bogan,
yeah,
basically.
yeah, yeah. Great show, great show.
Great show.
Possibly one of the best Australian anything shows ever made, any decade, any genre, anything. It's just so good, and you know, Magda Jabansky is just a fucking chef's kiss in that, and I mean, so are the other two, and so are like Glenn Robbins and Peter Rosethorn, but it's still like, God, it's good.
Yeah. I could do a whole show on Kath and Kim.
You know what? I'm wondering if there is a podcast that deals
Probably.
specifically with Kath and Kim. God,
Probably.
my hair's giving like shag pile carpet vibes today.
It's very fluffy.
Oh, I put a every once a week I do because I don't need conditioner, and then every now and then once a week I should say, not every now and then, once a week I put a moisturizer, a L'Oreal moisturizer thing, conditioner type thing through it, and I did that today. So, but yeah, it's giving shag pile carpet things, like fucking grays there. Like, this is fucking bullshit, mate. Every time I look in the mirror and I say, but I also know that the more gray I see, the closer I am to having to get another haircut.
Fair enough.
Like, I don't mind going gray, because actually the closer I get, the more spread out the gray is, and as it gets longer, it becomes shorter. But like the grays that are like really sitting there, they really come out like, yeah, you got gray hair. Yeah. And then I've got a little fluffy bit there, but whatever. So, what's going on? What's happening? What's going on in your part of the world down where you are?
Not much, just working. I get to have my tri-monthly white girl wasted mums on the loose next Saturday. So going out with some friends and starts at 3 o'clock. I'll be white girl wasted by 3:15.
Mhm.
And that's how I'm gonna spend. So I can't film next week, by the way. Because that's where I'll be. Um I found out probably in the last 2 weeks, I've been thinking about this. I've got a superpower.
You do?
Whether it's handy or useful, I don't know. So basically, I have been told by my psychic that I'm a very good manifester, manifest on things. I get it, but that hasn't worked for the lottery so far. Okay, I'm trying. Keep trying.
I missed out on the 100 million the other day too.
Yeah, that stupid Queensland person. He's probably gonna spend it on strippers and cocaine.
Oh, she's a mother. So
I
yeah,
thought it was a
probably.
dude.
No, I thought it was a
Oh,
mother.
okay, I don't know. Anyway, it's basically, and you do it a lot too, where I will go in my head, you know what? Don't really feel like filming tonight. Feel a bit blah. And then about 5 seconds later, I get a text message from you being like, can't film tonight. Go do something. I'm like, okay, sweet. I
Yeah.
like, and then I'll do stuff like I'll message my friend or I'll call a friend or something in my brain goes, I need to call this person. And I'll just call them and they're like, oh, I was just thinking about you. Or, oh, I was just like
Yeah.
mentioning to you. So like
Yeah.
I do it a lot where like random people who I don't speak for 2 or 3 months, something will go on my brain, send them a message. And I'll send them a message. The last time I did it, just a couple of weeks ago, I sent him a message, haven't spoken to him in, I don't know, 6 months. I said, how you going? He goes, my mum just died. And I'm like, sorry about that. Something told me to message you. I messaged you. So I think I have a superpower. I don't know. I'm gonna start putting it to test more.
Mm.
But it just kind of happens. But because when I think of messaging people, it's usually a very unorthodox time.
Yeah.
So I generally forget to message that person. So stuff may fall through the cracks. But generally when I'm thinking about someone, either they're thinking about me at the same time and I'm just calling them. It could be a coincidence. I don't know, but I'm going to put it down to a superpower.
Mm. I think some of us do have that superpower. I believe I have it too.
Mhm.
Because I actually sent a text message to a friend a couple of weeks ago and I haven't spoken to her for, oh God, or messaged her for close to 2 years, right? And I sent a message going, hey, how you doing? You're in a dream of mine 2 nights ago. And she sends back a message and goes, oh my God, I literally just had the phone open to your phone number.
Yeah, yeah.
And I went,
Must be like
oh,
a energy sending out.
possibly. Or maybe your little friendship expiration dates start ticking like really, really, really fast. And you're going, oh, I should probably save that friendship. I don't know. I don't know. But like, yeah, I've got a little bit of it too. Not too much, but like to manifest the fucking lotto is just not happening. Hey,
No.
we had the 100 million spent. Not
Yeah.
all of it, but we had some of it
Had a
spent.
good
Like,
chunk of it.
yeah, like I'll tell you in all honesty, that $100 million, we're on a plane to New Zealand into as soon as the money hit the bank account.
I wouldn't even bother. I'd just take out a loan. I'd be like, give me a loan today. So I'm
I
about
mean,
to
we've
get
got
100
savings and we
million.
could have done
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
We've
I'd be
got savings and
spending
we
all
could
the
have done
money
that.
that I had because I wouldn't care. But like
Yeah, but I got the family thing, so I've got to stay.
I was already oh, because I checked my ticket at work and I
Mhm.
had the physical tickets and I was like already planning in my head, all right, if this is like I've won, I need to sneak out of here because otherwise I might actually be held hostage. Like,
Mm.
so I was like, I just have to bolt to my car and leave. God, bye, see you, bye. Not tell anyone,
Mm.
don't care, bye. Turn my phone off.
Well,
I would immediately change my number. Immediately.
oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Because my other thing was, but a lot of my family don't have my phone number, which is good.
Mm.
But I had it. So it was going to be the 2 weeks because we've got family things that
Mhm.
obligations that we need to sort out first. But it was just going to be like, I was going to, I was going to turn up into my office like the very next day and go, by the way, I quit. And if you want to come and get your laptop, because I didn't bring it with me because it's somewhere in Sydney, good luck. And make it like a little treasure hunt.
I probably wouldn't bother. I just wouldn't turn my phone on or have like or at all. Like I'd just disappear. I'd get my private butler Jeeves to send my stuff back, chuff off, and that's it. Wouldn't even
Yeah.
bother.
I would probably just ring up Vinny's or something like that and go, hey, come over, take it all. I'm only keeping this, 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 and this. This is what we're taking with us to New Zealand. The rest of it can get donated to St. Vincenzo de Paulo. Paolo. Paolo.
But
That's what
yeah,
I would do.
anyway, that's our manifesting winning the lottery.
Moving to the South Island of New Zealand.
I wouldn't want to travel.
Living.
I'd want to travel.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we would do that, but we'd want to sort ourselves out first, get ourselves settled, house, get my Land Rover, get the dogs over, get them all sorted out, get my mum over, built-in babysitter for the dogs. And then just go, you know what? We're gonna go away for a month and come back, hang around, go away for another month.
Give me like
Like
4 mil.
spend, yeah, so spend the months back at home in New Zealand just planning the next trip. But having said that, we spoke about this, my wife and I, and whether or not we would just buy plane tickets over there or just go, you know what, let's just charter a private just once.
It's not like it's expensive, but it's not as expensive as what you think it is.
Yeah. So just charter a private jet, put the doggies on there, get us on there, get us over to
Mm.
wherever it is that we're going to land.
They
But
still have to do quarantine, like the dogs.
I don't know if they do between Australia and New Zealand.
Oh, no, not between Australia and New Zealand. I don't know
No,
if you're going any further.
no. Get that all sorted. Stay in a lush little place for however many weeks till we find a home to either buy or, probably just buy a home, and then anything else that we want, just get architects in to sort out and they can fuck around while we're, whatever.
Well, that's what I do. I'd
Um,
build, but I'd go travel the world while they're building.
well, we thought that too, but we've obviously got obligations and whatnot that we have to kind of stick around for and to get ourselves all nice and sorted out. I need to buy my Land Rover.
It's an odd thing to have, like to
No,
have as your wish list.
the little sporty one. That's my car. That's my dream car. I don't care about Porsches, Ferraris, anything
Yeah.
like that. Just get me the little Land Rover sports thing, the one that's a little bit more compact that you see driving around, the Evoque or whatever it is. Just it's not the Discovery, they're the bigger ones. The sport. So can put the little dogs in the back, drive around the South Island, around Queenstown, chill out around Queenstown for lunch and whatnot, and just try and figure out where, because I wanted to live in a place called Glenorchy, and my wife said it's full of rich white people. If we had $100 million, I would be a rich white person, but my wife wouldn't. So she would have the rich part and the person part, but the white part, no. So looks like that one might be out a little bit.
Did you ever get a massage at the new place that was downstairs?
Yes, I did. I've had a couple now.
Is it good?
Really good. Really, 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 really good. So when we went to Cairns,
Mhm.
when we had to do the quick family trip up to Brisbane, and then when we went to New Zealand, so the day before, I go downstairs to get the massage. Wanissa is great. She hurts and I really like it. And she gets me to the point, like after an hour massage, that my wife can't touch my back for about 3 days.
Oh yeah, I'm the same. Like
Yeah,
I like it that when it's
yeah,
deep tissue.
yeah.
Get in there.
Yeah.
Because I recently got a massage and I didn't know of any places around here, and I went to one that was just down the road. And I was like, I'll try this one out. It was very good. She was very good. So I booked my husband in for the next day. But then I was speaking to my friend. He goes, "You didn't go to this one, did you?" And he mentioned another one. And I said, "No, that was on the list of ones." He goes, "Don't." I go, "Why?" He goes, "I was stark naked, and I had this old Asian lady asking me if I want a happy ending." And he's like, wasn't
No.
into it, was not into it at all.
No.
And I'm like, imagine how many other old men's penises she's been touching, and then she's rubbing on your back. Oh, oh,
No.
oh.
So the place downstairs actually became a little bit of a controversial place in the first couple of weeks. So they're very, very, it's run by this lovely woman. She has another massage person there who's a lovely young girl. And so to create clarity, she put up a sign that said non-sexual massage. Bless her
Okay.
heart, right? And then some people in the area that I live in, toss bags that they are, took exception to that, became offended. It ended up in the local news. Then it ended up going to council. Then it actually ended up on news.com.au. And then they compromised, and now she has a sign that says professional massage only, which is what everybody agreed to. Me went, oh, a pro massage, happy ending.
Yeah.
Right. So after all of that happened, the second time I went down there, I said to her, I said, like, I'm so sorry that the fuckers around here did that to you. And she goes, no, it's okay. It's okay. Lovely Thai woman. And she goes, no, it's okay. She goes, like, this is the I said, you should never have had to change that sign. I said, you should never have had to put that sign up, but I understand why you do. She goes, they were getting 4 or 5 people in every day asking if they do happy ending massages,
Mm.
or they were ringing, and like there's only the 2 women there, so they weren't feeling safe. So
No.
they wanted to put that out there before anybody walked in the door. And this is what the fucking council and the residents of this area did. Fuckers. That could very well be my pancreas, because it really pissed me off, because they're lovely. Like, this woman, if she's lucky, stands at 4'9".
Yeah, and that's where it gets in that unsafe area. So I do hope they have like a little panic button or something that.
I would hope so. But so, and because we live in apartment 2 and she's in shop 2, sometimes she gets our mail and deliveries and sometimes we get hers. So we just kind of do a little swap over, and she does favors, and like, she doesn't charge the full price for it for me and whatnot. And she's great. Like, you know how bad my back is. And since I've gone to her, I've had 3 massages from her. Since then, I have not had to go to physio, exercise physiology, or chiro.
Yeah, I can definitely prolong my chiro and stuff.
Her remedial massages are so good. So, so good. So she's great. And we're actually, it's funny you should bring it up, because I was literally talking about it this morning.
See, superpower. I'm
Superpower.
going for a massage on Thursday at that place because I need it. My back's killing me.
Mm. Oh, I got a hip, like the back and the hips and bullshit, and the knees or thing. But you know what? If I go downstairs to her, because she goes, what are your bad areas? And I tell her, she targets those. And by the time I'm walking out, I've got this like head spin thing going on, because she does the head as well.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
she does like top to toe. Um, just not the no places.
Yeah. I don't
And
like my
very, very
stomach.
respectful. She doesn't touch it.
Yeah,
She knows that she can't touch it.
I said to her I don't like my stomach, so she
Mm.
didn't touch my stomach.
Well, when I first went down there and we had the chat, she said to me, she said, like, is there any area? Obviously, there are areas. She goes, but aside from those, is there any areas that are no-go zones? And I said to her, I said, my stomach area. I said, only because of all of the crap that I've had going on. And I said to her, I said, like, it's one of those things where if I'm not feeling very great, you know, when sometimes you rub your stomach. Well, I'm just like sick for the rest of the day.
Mm.
So I'm just, and so she doesn't even entertain that, but she'll go down to just above. So she'll go down to the chest at the front, but not like I'm still covered, so you can't see the badungadungas.
Mm-hmm.
She does not touch that area. She does not touch my no place. She goes to just before the top of my thighs. She'll do that from the legs, like going down the legs, and she'll do all the way up the back of the legs, stops at the backside, starts again where I point in the lower back to where the pain is.
Mm.
And then, yeah, but like she does the cranial massage, she does like the finger pop, like she does everything. And as I said, this woman, she's lucky if she's 4'9", and the very first thing that she does after I get myself all comfortable on the table is she jumps straight up onto my back with her knees. Like, she's literally on her knees on my back. So good. The first time she did it, all I heard was crack, 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 crack. It was the best thing. So good. But yeah, so yeah. And I have every intention. Anytime that we fly anywhere, I'm going to go straight downstairs, because it gets me all nice and relaxed for the flight, because I got anxiety when it comes to flying.
Mm-hmm.
And that just kind of, and I think that's actually helped.
Yeah.
I think it's helped. So
Is
yeah,
that your
one
pancreas or do you have other pancreases?
Oh, look, I've had moments. Oh, okay. So remember the last one when I was talking about the fucking Olympic torch ice cream, and then it was like I said they're going to do the cookies,
Yeah.
the gold medal. It was just a normal fucking cookie from fucking Woolworths.
You
Like,
said that
I
was that
called
it
it.
was gonna be.
I called it. And it wasn't even like a macadamia and white chocolate. It was just a normal fucking please help me. The one with the jam.
Oh yeah.
So it's like the cookie, and then it's just got like that little jam spot in the middle.
Yeah.
that you pick up like 12 of those for $3 from fucking
I know which one
Woolworths.
you're talking
It
about,
was those. It was those. It wasn't even from like a cookie shop or anything like that. There were no bins around, but I'm sure if I had found a bin, it would have just had like discarded plastic containers from Woolies in it.
Also, they tried to pass it off as they've made it, or they've.
I don't know. I don't know. Like, I, I throw my fucking cigarettes into a garden thing because there's no fucking bins around. But like,
Yeah, they think that bins around make the place look ugly, and I'm like, you know what makes it look ugly? The rubbish that's around. That's what makes it look ugly.
yeah. So, and then like, fuck them. So then they're actually doing another thing this Wednesday, but I'm off, so it's fine. But they're doing a toasty and waffle day, right? So if you wanted anything, you could only have toasty or waffle, not and,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you got to put your name down, your level number, all of that stuff, and you can pick either a waffle or a toasty, and you get that. And I'm like, is it those little fucking square fucking waffles that they'll chuck in a toaster? And they'll hand it to you with like a serviette around it and go, there you go, there's your waffle. And like your toasty won't actually be like a full toasty. It'll be like one of the triangles. Like that's what I'm thinking. I don't know. But like, look, this is the ultimate of first world problems. I'm bitching about this stuff. It's not even my company. It's the company that owns the building, and they're doing very nice things for their tenants and anybody else who happens to walk in. But like, go the extra mile, guys.
Be better.
Be better. If you're going to provide cookies and one scoop of fucking gelato or ice cream or whatever it was, like, do not make it out to be something that it really isn't.
Who hurt you? Who hurt you?
I don't know. I mean, so when I was when I was walking past, the guy who's like the reception guy down there, he knows me by name. Apparently I know him by name, but I don't remember his name. He's lovely, don't get me wrong. And I walked past and he goes, Cass. And I went, yeah. And he goes, do you want a cookie? And I went, no, I'm fine, thank you. But like the whole time going,
Should have
I
just
could
taken the
just go up to
cookie.
Woolies. I could have just gone up to Woolies and got 12 of them for $3. But yeah, I mean, don't false representation in the foyer of a multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar building. Give me your proper cookie. That's my pancreas moment. What's yours?
I think you'll appreciate this one.
All right.
Couriers.
Oh! Whoa, right off the bat. Okay.
So I've been selling a lot of stuff through eBay.
Yep.
And eBay, the postage, you can either do it yourself or you can use the eBay postage people. I've been doing it myself because I can just drop it off Australia Post. It calculates the postage and I just pay the postage, and if it's more, whatever, I don't care.
Yeah.
Anyway, this time because I was sending because the person that bought it was like, I want it double boxed, blah 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 blah, because Australia Post tend to throw packages, and I was like, okay, whatever. And I said, okay, well, instead of that, I'll use the courier that eBay uses. And I wrapped it up, and it was it was a doll from the 1940s. It had the eyes falling out of its head, so it was inside its head rattling around. It was very creepy looking. But like good condition, it'd probably be worth around $1,200. I got 150 for it. Don't really care. Didn't make any money. Like it wasn't making any money sitting in my garage.
Yeah.
So I print off the packing label, take it down to a news agency. I said, is this where I drop it? She says, yep, no worries. Sends it off. This was like late July. So like 21st, 22nd of July, I think I mailed it. And the money came through eBay. I didn't hear anything from the person. And then probably around the 12th, 13th of August, I get a message from the person saying it still hasn't arrived. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, why wouldn't you message me? It should have arrived like within a week. It was only going to Queensland, I think. And they're like, no, it still hasn't arrived. I was like, all right. So I checked the tracking. I checked, and it's called Sendle, the people. Um, and they
They're
have
fucked.
they have
They're fucked.
intermediate people. It gets worse. So anyway, so they did an investigation. They said it'll take 5 to 7 business days. I said, all right, no worries. Then we'll check back then. So it got to the 20th of August. It was 7 days. Um, I double checked. Still, it claimed that it was lost. I've been speaking to these Sendle people. They're based in America, so they're basically open 24 hours.
Yep.
So I was messaging these people, being like, "Where is this package? I want the money back. Like, figure something out." Anyway, they refunded me the postage cost, which I don't even know how much it was. And they said you need to submit a claim. I was like, all right. So I submit the claim, sent what it was, sent the photo of the eBay, how much she paid me. And I'm like, I only just want that. I don't want the original cost of the item. I just want what she paid for it so I can reimburse her through eBay. So I'm not out another $150. So they're like, yep, sure, no worries, put the claim in. I get a email probably about a day later, it's been rejected. I'm like, what? Like, what the fuck do you mean? So the eBay AI had set it as an antique. Now, antiques are anything over 100 years old.
Yes.
This was made in the 40s. It's not an antique.
Yeah.
It's old. Um, so they gave me the reason that it falls under owner's risk. I'm going to read you what is not covered in Sendel's insurance policy, right?
Okay. Okay.
So it says, we strongly advise that you arrange your own cover for loss or damage for these following items. Secondhand car parts. Weird. Perishables, e.g., fresh fruit and vegetables, meat, or frozen goods. Flowers or plants. Cash or other negotiable instruments, e.g., tickets. Irreplaceable items, legal documents or other valuables. Fine art, personal effects, jewelry, gems, trinkets, or personal ornaments like rings, necklaces, trinkets, or other items containing jewels or precious metals. Small quantities of lithium ion batteries and brand new electronic devices with built in batteries or similar. Now, you tell me, what can I send that's covered?
I'm confused.
What I cannot send anything with them that is
No.
covered.
That's what I'm
There's
saying. I'm confused because I got nothing.
there's a whole list of prohibited goods like hand sanitizers, any sort of liquids. But I so I went
Can you send this pen?
that well technically that's your pen, so that's a personal effect.
Yeah.
So like
So what can you send?
what can you say? And this was my argument. I'm like, so anyway, so I've been messaging, I think I spoke to Ed, good old Ed,
Ed,
and I messaged him on and they converted to the email. Anyway, when he's like, "Oh, we're sorry that this is not the outcome that you want." I'm like, "No kidding, Ed. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean that it falls under owner's risk? If I had known, I would have probably gone to Australia Post because they cover you, I think, $100 automatically. Which I would have been happy to get back. I would have taken the $50 loss, whatever.
yeah. Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, well, I understand that you might not send with us again." I'm like, "Fuck no, I'm not sending with. I can't send anything with you."
How can someone sit there and go, I understand that we're never going to have your business again because we didn't do our job.
Yeah. I'm like,
And then we're telling you that no matter what you do, we're not going to do the job because it doesn't fall under your purview. Like, fuck off.
the principle of it is you fucking lost the package.
Mhm.
You did, not me.
Yeah.
You did. And they're like, "Oh yeah, well we deal with third parties." And I'm like, "Okay, so where was it last scanned in? I'll go to the fucking warehouse because it must have been around the corner."
Mm.
Because they literally probably picked it up, took it to a place to get processed and lost it.
Yep.
Gonskis.
Yep.
Unless someone thought, "Oh, this is going to be worth a bit of money here. Let's
Right.
just
Keep it. Yeah.
keep it up." It's a fucking freaky doll, and I hexed it before I posted it, so I hope you get cursed. But what can I send with these people that would actually be covered by their insurance policy? Because I can't think of anything. I cannot think of one single thing. And this is I've had multiple. I've just basically gone, you know what? I'm going to annoy the shit out of them until they pay me back my money. So,
Sand?
huh?
Sand? Can you send sand?
Um, maybe
I think we found something.
sand. Is sand perishable? No, not really.
Nope. It's not flora.
Unless it's your personal sand that you brought out of your personal garden. Probably fall under personal sand.
Sand in my crack from when I went to the beach.
But like, yeah, so I've the latest is that they said to me, you identified it, which me being you identified it as an antique. I said, no, eBay AI identified it as an antique.
Mm-hmm.
So the last thing was she was going to submit that eBay AI had posted that. So if I don't hear anything by Monday, then I'll be back on the Karen train because I'm livid. It's the principle of it. Just pay me my 150. It's not even that much. It's not like I'm asking for $3,000. I'm just asking for what you lost. Put in
Welcome
a
to
little
my
bit of effort.
world. Welcome to my world. This is an argument that I have with courier companies periodically because they're fucking bullshit. The only ones, I really hate saying this, the only ones you can almost depend on almost 100% is Australia Post.
Australia Post and Dragonfly, never had an issue with.
Never use Dragonfly. But what you do is next time is like instead of like taking it to the chemist and all of that other stuff, just do it. You know, you go to I can't remember the name of it. I'll figure it out and tell you. And it's like global courier something,
Mm.
and it brings up all of the prices of all of the courier companies, and you can choose the courier company based on the price, right?
Mm.
Usually couriers, please, are the cheapest, and I tend to shy away from them, but we can send, and we have done. So from Brisbane to Sydney, it was 2 big plastic containers full of my wife's stuff, and it only cost us $30 because they don't charge you for weight, they charge you for the amount of space you take up.
Yeah.
Right? So we just do it that way. So, you know, when we had our friend who we'd get jigsaw puzzles for, and as soon as we get a big box full, we would pack them and send them up. It was only costing her like $25 for 2 huge fucking boxes, as long as they don't weigh more than 25 kilos.
Mm.
So global couriers direct, maybe it's called, instead of like going to like Sendle scared me the very first time I saw it. Like I looked at it and I just went, that's too cheap.
Well, you'd think that, well, because I didn't know how much it was because eBay sorts that side out. I just print the
Mm,
tracking label. That's it. So you'd
yeah.
think that eBay would have someone who was semi-reliable. Like I sent a $6,500 painting via Australia Post. I could only insure it for 5,000, so
Mm,
which I did. It cost me $170 to do.
mm.
But it got there. At least I didn't lose it in the mail.
Yeah. Well, the good thing about this global direct thing is it just asks for the measurements and then it gives you the price.
Mm.
Like it's so much easier than all of this other stuff. And we use that if I can't be bothered going to. The only downside is that you've got to print up labels and we don't have a printer. So I've got to duck up to Officeworks. Like that's the
You've
only
still got to
downside.
go out anyway. Yeah. But no, I will be using Australia Post from now on because at least I'll be covered for $100. I did send the
Mm-hmm.
last one with Australia Post and I haven't checked if that's arrived either yet. But it just makes me now I have to go, and eBay said, like, when I spoke to their support team, I'm like, now I'm going to get a bad review and you're now withholding my next cash payment because this person has submitted the claim that it's missing, which is what I asked her to do. I said, you need to submit it with eBay. eBay will pay you back. I'll hopefully get paid back by Sendle, which should pay whatever. So it'll come back eventually. But I'm still annoyed because I'm now still out a doll. Not that I
Yep.
wanted it. But yeah, it's the principle of it. I'm like, find my fucking package then. If you're not going to give me the money back, find it.
Yep.
Fuck you, Sendle. Fuck you.
Yep. Yep.
Yes,
Okay.
if I do not get my money back, I will unleash my husband, and he is a Karen and a half, and he's relentless. So
Welcome to the courier bus. I've been sitting on it on my own for a little while.
yeah, because I've had no issues. Anything I've sent, and I send a lot of stuff. Like I sold a lot of stuff on eBay. I've sent it all through eBay. It's all been fine. Nothing's
Mm.
ever gone missing. And then the one time I use a different courier, I'm like, nope, never again. Nope.
Sendle.
But it's the principle of it. Like, of if it says antique or whatever, and my listing said antique, it should have popped up with a, hey, disclaimer, just letting you know, you might not be covered with the insurance because of what the eBay AI has classified this as. And I would have looked at it and gone, oh, maybe I'll just send it with Australia Post then.
Yep.
So yeah, it's the principle of it. I can't send anything with you, Sendel, without not being covered. I could send a letter with $100 cash and not be covered. Why? Because I can't send cash.
You can't send this pen.
Nope, can't send that pen. That's personal effect.
You can't send this rubber ball.
That's irreplaceable. You would never get that. So that's an irreplaceable item, that is.
You can't send. You can't send this New Zealand coin for $2.
Nope. Cash.
Oh, hang on a minute.
Tap on it like a fucking influencer. Oh, that drives me nuts.
No, courier companies can go fuck themselves. And we do a lot of courier business, not outbound, but a lot of inbound courier business. Every now and then. The thing that gets me the most is when you see they go, oh, we've delivered it, and then they put a photo, and you're like, that's not my building. And then what's happened to me a couple of times is I've actually got phone calls, and I've answered the phone, and they go, actually, we're in blah blah street. Your phone number was on the label. Your package is here, and it's like on the other side of my suburb. Not even in the street that could possibly. I live on the main road. Like, it's not like you can go, oh, it must be the other road that's that name.
Yeah, I know. But ours is similar because people type in motorway instead of highway.
Yeah.
But there's nothing in the motorway. Nothing. So I don't know who you're delivering to because they're not there.
Yeah. But they don't have another road with my name in my suburb.
Yeah, I know. That's really
It's
weird.
the main fucking drag of the entire, as soon as you get off the bridge, as soon as you get off, it's military road the whole way. It's stupid. And then, and I remember this one, it was just before we were about to go into our second lockdown or something. It was donuts. Right?
Mhm.
And I ended up having to drive out almost all the way to the zoo to go and get these fucking donuts.
Weren't those the ones that you ended up throwing out anyway?
Yeah.
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 Hmm.
Ate a fair bit of them because it was pre-surgery, Cass.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I get halfway through a donut and go, I'll eat the other half later. Had a thing for donuts lately.
That's Tim Tams at the moment.
We had Tim Tams the other week. I had it was mint slice last week.
Or there's these cloud things that you get at Aldi, which are like they got the biscuit on the bottom, marshmallow in the middle, and then chocolate around the outside.
Like the Royals.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the cheap version of that.
Yeah.
Called cloud.
So I love them, right? And in New Zealand, there's a company called Griffins that do them, and I've forgotten the name of them off the top of my head. Mallow Puffs, something like that. And I became hugely addicted to them over in New Zealand because about 30 years ago, they were here. The company was here as well, and they had them here, and I used to love them. And then as soon as I saw them in a servo in New Zealand, I'm like, oh, they're $6, I'm taking them. And then we found them at a shop for $2. So I had 2 packets while we were gone.
So, drag wise, I know you haven't said you've watched anything, but at the moment, there is so much on stand.
The closest I have watched is on YouTube, Binge Queens watching the first 2 episodes of Queen of the Universe.
Is that with Alexis
Kong
Mateo?
and Liz Edward.
Yeah. Okay, so I've watched the first episode of that. No,
Right.
I've watched the 2. I've watched the 2 episodes. That's what was dropped.
I've just watched the recap.
Right. There's so much. There's Untucked. There's Queen of the Universe. There's
Too much.
last season. There's so much, and I'm not in the mood. I'm not.
Well, here's the thing, right? So, when we say to those of you who listen, it is great for the LGBT, LGBTQ queer community, it is great that we are now spoiled for choice. 20 years ago, this was never going to happen or anything like that. But there is such a thing as too much of a good thing.
Mhm.
And I would like to start out by saying that it's not that we don't like drag. We love drag.
We
We
love
love drag
drag.
performers. We love everything to do with drag. But it's like anything else. If you get force fed it, you eventually get tired for a little bit and you want to take a little bit of a step back, which is what we're doing. We're
Mhm.
taking a step back. Like I've got nothing is piquing my curiosity in the sense of the drag shows. Maybe my interest might come back with Down Under
Yeah.
because we're hoping that Lazy Susan will be on it. But yeah, like I'm just kind of drag fatigued. Um, it's but as I said, like it's one of those things. 20 years ago, there wasn't enough. Now we're saying there's too much. And there are some people, like I've got one friend in particular who watches all of it, every single franchise, all of it. Like hasn't missed any, hasn't missed Belgium, hasn't missed France, hasn't missed Down Under, hasn't missed US, hasn't missed UK, like totally up to date on everything. Can tell you every single queen. I struggle now. I mean, I struggled before. If they've got 3 names, I'm fucked. But like, I'm actually like struggling now.
Luxor, London.
But you know what I mean? Like, I was watching something on YouTube the other day, and they mentioned a drag queen from like season 16. I went, "Who dat?"
Yeah. I do that anyway because I have a horrible memory.
Mm,
But I, yeah, I want to watch like the Belgium and the France and the Spain, but you actually have to watch it because obviously you don't speak the language, so you got to watch the subtitles. You
yeah,
actually got to physically watch it.
yeah.
Um, Whereas sometimes I just like to have it on in the background. But at the moment, and it's not just us, it's a lot of drag queens saying they're a bit over it too.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if hopefully my attitude changes. It's just not right now. I've got a lot of stuff going on, and you've got a
Mhm.
lot of stuff going on, and
Yeah.
I think that when I watch drag, I want to I want to be immersed in it, and I want to be happy in it. Um,
Not out of a sense
and
of obligation either.
yeah, I think that's probably a big part of it.
Mm, mm.
Um,
Doesn't mean that we don't love it. I mean, you can love something and not watch. I mean, I love watching. I love sports. The Olympics is obviously the Olympics of sports,
mhm.
but but I love sports, but I'm not one of those people that will watch every single football game every weekend,
Yeah.
right? I love watching football. I love the fact that my team's at the top of the ladder. I love all of that stuff, but I can't remember the last time I watched a football game. I think maybe when I went live about 6 weeks ago. Haven't watched one since on TV.
Mm.
Because you don't have to watch it in order to love it. You can enjoy it from time to time, or you can be a tragic. And for a little while there, we were drag. Oh, that's hard. Drag tragics. Doesn't mean that we don't love it. It just means that sometimes we don't want to watch it and don't have to watch it. Judge us, don't care. Detox came out as trans. No
Nice.
surprise. No surprise. I was reading it today. Detox came out as trans. I'm like, yeah, and
Next.
like not saying that in a bad way, just like
No.
I don't. It's not. It's not reportable. It's not report worthy because like people shouldn't have to come out. You know what I
It was
mean?
really hard when I came out as straight to my parents.
Mm,
Very difficult.
mm. I can imagine the inner dilemma that you had.
Yeah.
How do I tell my parents that I'm conventional? How do I
Just
do
one of
it?
those
Like,
things.
they're going to
I
be
saw
ashamed.
I saw the disappointment in their eyes.
Yeah, but you know what? It's the same disappointment that we all have when we see you. So
That's correct, yes.
it's fine. You walk in, we're like, all right.
Fuck off.
Ha!
Enjoying the Sendall crew. You know what? Just for that,
Cheesy joke.
easy joke.
Yes. What you got?
Where did I sleep like a log last night? In the fireplace. That's just stupid.
You're gonna have to try another one.
Yeah.
Because that
Why
one
did
was just no.
why did the man put his money in the freezer?
Because he wanted cold hard cash.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
I knew you would know that one because it's so fucking cheesy. In 2016, why couldn't I say where I see myself in 4 years?
I actually know this, but it's escaped me. Because I've heard this before. What
I
what what
don't
what?
have 2020 vision.
Vision. That was it.
Yeah, these are just,
You bought it.
it's like $1. Just
Can
so
we
I
just
can annoy you.
before we go, can we just talk about the unseasonably warm weather we're having right now?
I know.
I'm perspiring.
I put on the aircon because I had a little nap this afternoon.
Mhm,
Um, for the first time on cold because
mhm.
we have reverse because we're fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah, today.
It was I mean, it wasn't overly hot, but I'm currently sitting here talking to you. It is just past 8 o'clock in the evening, and I'm perspiring like a bitch. Like, it's quite warm, but I
And I'm
perspire
in summer
everywhere.
pajamas. I have not seen
I'm in
summer
shorts.
pajamas.
I'm in shorts and a t-shirt, right? Because it's like it's good, and it's going to be like this for. But we're just having a little bit of unseasonably um pre-spring weather.
I love it. Oh, okay,
I'm
I
not a
got
fan
one
of
more
it.
that's actually funny.
Yeah, all right.
Why did the cheese have curly hair?
Why?
It was a parmesan. I like that one.
That was all right. Okay, sure.
By the way, after I
But
read this, I throw them in the bin, right?
I would hope so, because God forbid you repeat a fucking stupid
Yeah.
joke. But yeah,
I'll show,
no, this
I'll show you how many there are left, though. Wait,
awesome. Three
there's
years
a
worth.
lot.
Great.
There's a lot.
So, um, with this whole unseatable, we'll just have this quick little chat and then we'll finish up, right?
Yep.
So what happened was, I perspire when I'm hot. Armpits are a big thing for me. We've discussed this, that I wanted to do the Botox in the armpits to prevent that. And in order to do that, you actually have to try a product called Dry Claw first.
Mhm.
And if it's not successful in 30 days, then you can go and you can talk to the consultant about getting the Botox in the armpits, right?
Mhm.
And I was like, I'm not going to lie to them and go, it didn't work, give me the needle. Like I was like, I'll give it a try. Best thing overboard.
That's
Best thing
good.
ever. Yep. You put it on every day for a week and a bit, or a week maybe, and then you only put it on once a week, and then you can deodorant as normal, right?
Mhm.
Um, when we went to the drag gala at the zoo in February or whatever it was like 37 degrees, and it was humid, and it was disgusting, and I was pissing sweat everywhere except the armpits.
Nice. Well, it
The
does have to come
armpits,
out somewhere.
yeah, but the armpits were the driest part of me, right? So with everything that's been going on and like hormonal, because I'm menopausal and all of that other stuff, like sweat happens. I wake up 3 o'clock in the morning fucking drenched. The armpits are always dry. I'm talking to you right now. I am sweating and perspiring. Well, not sweating, but I'm perspiring because it's unseasonably warm outside. Dry armpits. It's amazing. Dry Claw. You can only get it on Amazon.
I love Amazon.
Yeah.
But
Well,
can we just talk about the lack of drag expo in Australia this year that they've
because
silently done away with
ITD events, the naughty people who cannot play nice with others
and not pay their bills,
and
apparently.
not pay their bills, and they're the only ones who are doing it. But I think also I'm going to go out on a limb here, okay, and say that they tried too much too fast, right? Having one once a year is great. Last year they had Sydney and Melbourne. You could see the watering down because people were like, "Oh, I don't have to go to Sydney because I can just go to the one in Melbourne. Oh, I won't go to the one in Melbourne. I'll go in Sydney because I'm in Sydney." Like, they're not making it a true convention,
No, it should have
right?
been Melbourne, Sydney 1 year alternating
Yeah,
is what it should have
100%.
been.
Yeah,
Shouldn't have been in where it was. Melbourne's location's fine.
yep,
Sydney's not so much. Very awkward,
yep,
hard to get to,
yep.
uh, especially for people in 10-inch heels.
Mm-hmm.
No food.
Not
There was like, I think, was it at Sydney, was there like a little thingy? I can't
the
remember.
little cafeteria type thing that
Yeah,
you could
that
go
was
in and
it.
only get like 4 items, and that was it.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, it was it they made the focus on getting as many booths as possible, but then not
catering
emphasizing
for
the booths
things.
that were there.
Exactly.
Like the artist alley, I think the balloons went up like the second day.
In Sydney, yeah, just
Yeah,
about 2 hours before they were due to come down.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was there.
They did Artist Alley better in Melbourne.
Oh yeah, they did. Except they shoved it over in the corner and then they smushed it together. So you walk through,
Yeah.
but it was so packed that you couldn't really stop because there was like a line behind you.
Yeah.
Um, so you knew where it was, but it was just too busy. I didn't even bother going down there.
Yeah. And my understanding is that they treated the overseas queens, even though the overseas queens weren't very happy with it all, they actually treated the overseas queens quite well and treated the domestic queens like shit.
Yeah, no.
So, and there's, the ever populated rumor that they're going to do RuPaul's Drag Con down here, but I'll probably be a breakdancer at the Olympics before that happens.
See, with this 100 million, we could have done so much better. I would run it. I wouldn't charge anyone for a booth. If you wanted a booth, take a booth, but we take a percentage of your sales. That's how I would have done it.
And paid for the facility up front.
Oh yes, I pay my bills.
Yeah. Pay your taxes. I mean, it's sad because I was actually thinking about it because it would have been same time as last year.
Yeah, it would have
Like
been.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah. 2 weeks ago, we would have been back for 2 weeks.
yeah,
Right. So the ability to be able to get to know more people and everything has kind of been taken away because there's nothing now.
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, because I've kind of been steering away from it a little bit. Um, some of the older queens they haven't been bringing back. They're concentrating more on the new ones, which is fine. But you know what? I want to have the older queens come back. Like I was so happy when we went to the Snatch game. I got to see Ben de la Creme live.
Yeah.
Finally, it happened. Yeah, they just the priorities are just all over the shop. The problem is in this country that the only big company that brings out touring drag acts is ITD events.
Yeah.
That's the problem. They've got a monopoly. So they can do whatever they want, whenever they want, however they want. And then they can also fuck queens over, which they did with Mistress Isabel Brooks. Her and Lux Noir London.
Yeah.
Lux, that one, right?
Yeah.
They were supposed to come down after Sasha Colby and Anitra. And because of all of the drama that was happening, like with Mistress Isabel, they cancelled it almost like the day before.
Mm.
And then basically said, because of like your controversy or whatever it is, we're not going to have it. Like, that's not fair. So, but there's no other alternative here.
No.
So they can do whatever they want. I mean, we had every intention, but of course life got in the way. Spanky Jackson's trying to do it in New Zealand with Palmy Fest,
Mhm.
which is in October. And she's actually got a couple of, they would consider them international, but like Hannah Conda's going over. Ivory Glaze, Art Simone, I think, is going over as well. So they're going to try and, so like, if that becomes a thing, like a really big thing, like that's something that I would be interested in doing. We were going to do this year, but like life got in the way.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, there is definitely a lack of something like that, and I can't see it coming back in anywhere in the near future. They tried too much with then trying to also have Brisbane,
Yeah, I
which
know.
never eventuated
In
anyway.
the middle of fucking
Summer.
summer.
Like, really?
No one wants to go to Brisbane normally, but in the middle of summer,
Right?
pass.
So, which kind of, and then they really quietly pulled that one back,
Yeah.
right? We obviously didn't buy tickets, so we don't know about the refund policy or whether or not they
I didn't even
refunded the
know they
money back
got
to the
to
people.
that point. Like, I don't even think they got to the point of buying tickets for Brisbane.
I think they were on sale, but I don't remember. But then what happened was, and it was so funny because at the beginning of the year, I was sitting and I was talking to my wife, and I went, "Hang on a minute," and she went, "What?" And I went, "We haven't bought tickets to Expo yet because there isn't one." And normally those tickets go on sale about 2 months after the other one is finished.
Yep.
So maybe, I don't know, maybe somebody else comes out of the woodwork and does it. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway,
But on that, we've actually talked about some drag, so
yeah.
you're welcome. On the Instas, Drag Me Out Official. On the YouTubes, Drag Me Out Official. On the podcast platforms, Drag Me Out Official. We're everywhere. We're in your face. We're in your ears. We're in your home.
Your
We're in your
bums.
lives. We're taking up, space in your brain rent free. Thanks for that. And do you have anything?
No.
As usual, wifey poo, I love you very, very much. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Mwah. Bum, 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 bum. Ba, 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 ba.